What sort of house did you live in?
It was a terraced house on what was a very busy main road at the time, Manchester Road. It was quite a big house. Downstairs was the shop, and that took over it had two windows, and in the one window there was all cakes and biscuits and cut meats, and in the other window we used to have fruit and vegetables. And then behind the shop we had like a dining room which led into a kitchen, which was quite long. My granddad's time they put on an extension, so we had quite a long kitchen, and above that we had our sitting room we had upstairs to keep away from the shop, and then there were 2 bedrooms on that level and a bathroom, and then up another flight of stairs, which was the attic, was another 2 bedrooms. Me and my sister used to sleep in the front bedroom, my brothers were in the back bedroom, Mum and Dad were downstairs, and the back bedroom, like the extension bit next to the garage, was just the storage room for all the bags for the shop and everything.
What about at the back outside? Was it a sort of a backyard, or did you have a little garden or anything?
It was a backyard, which was quite long really, because we had 2 sheds in it. The first shed was where, in my granddad and great-grandfather's time, they used to have a boiler for bottling chickens and bottling fruits. And when we were kids, we quite often used to go in there and play with this old boiler. And there was lots of bottles with lids and everything, and we used to find it playing in that shed, And then we had a top shed, which when we were a bit older, we cleared out and made it into our little den. And we had an outside toilet, even though it wasn't used, we did have an inside toilet. And then we just had one privet tree and a little scrap of soil, but nothing in it. But the next door's garden, which also belonged to my mum and dad, we owned both houses. Because when we were younger, when Grandad was still living at 137 Manchester Road, we used to live at 135, which was next door. And then when Grandad retired and moved up to Ingle, we moved into the shop, and then we rented out that property to a couple who were in it. Well, I think they're still in it now, although he's died, but I think Anne's still living in the property now.
Okay. Tell me about the area that you lived in, which was right in more or less the heart of Manchester Road, wasn't it? Tell me about that area. Describe it to me.
Yeah,
as it was as a child.
As I was a child?
Yes.
Well, at the front and the back of the shop were all terraced houses. I think they were mill houses, because there was lots of mills round there. And the convent, as it was Horrocks' house, and he had all the terraced houses belonging to the mills round there. They were just little 2 ups and 2 downs, with the back, and then there was a church sort of across the road and round the corner, St Augustine's Church. And then on the corner of Manchester Road there was the I do remember some of the shops. There used to be a butcher's across the road, and on the end of the road there was a pub, and then there was a sweet shop, which in my granddad's day was one of his sister's shops. She used to own that. But there was a sweet shop, and then there was a couple of houses, and there was our shop, and then there was the betting shop next door to that, and then just another row of houses.
So it was quite self-contained as an area?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
What about your relationship with neighbours? Were they good or distant, sharing?
Well, I remember the people next door, because they had a son and daughter about our age, and we used to play with them. And we were always sort of in and out of each other's houses. We always knew Anna's Auntie Anne. She used to go in and make us jam butties, which my parents weren't very pleased about, because it used to spoil our dinner. We used to have proper dinners, you know. We used to have, "Have you been eating jam butties again at Anne's?" With living in a shop, we knew everybody really. We knew the people in the area, and you got to know the generations of people. With Dad's family having the shop for so long, he knew people there he went to school with, and he knew who he'd married, and quite often he'd talk about people with the maiden names rather than the married names, and it used to get very confusing. So you sort of knew the people that your parents knew, and you grew up with them and you went to school with them.